Hi guys, in this video what we're going to do is we're going to look at how to work out large powers of complex numbers given in Cartesian form. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got an example just to go through, and essentially what we're going to do is the following. We're going to take our complex number, we're going to put it into polar form, then what we're going to do is we're going to use the Moivre, and then we're going to put it back from polar form into Cartesian or rectangular form. Okay, so from rectangular form into polar form, then we're going to use the technique of the Moivre, and then what we're going to do is going to put it back into the Cartesian or rectangular form. Okay, let's have a look at it. So a lot of stuff that we've learned in the last few videos. So quickly, draw yourself a graph. It's a half minus root 3 over 2. Okay, so minus half minus root 3 over 2 is somewhere over here. So quickly draw it in, and we're looking at our angle there, which is our reference angle. This is a half, and this here is root 3 over 2. Remember, what we're looking for is just the distances. We're not bothered about the negative or the positive here. Go to the side here, and we're going to work out our r. Our r is equal to a half all squared plus minus root 3 over 2 all squared and square rooted. So if we work that out, we end up with a quarter plus, it's going to be 3/4 square rooted, so that's still equal to r, and r is going to be equal to the square root of 1, which is just 1. So we now have our r part of the polar form. Let's work out the angle part now. So what we have here is, we know that tan of the reference angle is equal to, and it's the opposite, which is root 3 over 2 divided by a half. And what will happen here is the 2's will cancel, and now we're going to end up with tan r is equal to root 3. That means my r is going to be equal to 60 degrees, or pi over 3 radians if we're dealing in radians. Okay. Now, the reference angle, if we go in the negative direction, will be the same. It would just be negative 60 here. So if we are using the plus and minus 180 method, which is absolutely fine, our theta will be minus 60. So theta is equal to minus 60 or minus pi over 3. Or if we wanted to, we could come all the way around here and do it in the positive direction. If we do that, then it's going to be, theta is going to be equal to 360 minus that 60 for the reference angle there, which is 300 degrees. Or we could work it out in radians if we wanted to as well. Okay, I'm going to go with the positive and then the negative one, so I'm going to use theta is equal to minus 60. So now what we can say is that we now know that z is equal to 1 over half minus root 3 over 2i, but we now know what that is in polar form, so that's going to be equal to, in polar form, it's going to be 1, because that's my r, and it's going to be cos minus 60 plus I sine minus 60, so that there is my theta. So just to remind you, the 1 is the r here, so r cos theta plus I sine theta. Theta is equal to minus 60. We could have also used 300 if we wished, because 300 would come all the way with the green angle here, but we decided to go in the negative direction here, so minus 60 from here. Okay, from there, what we're going to do is going to do it to the power of 10, which means that on this side, to the power of 10, means I have to do exactly the same on the other side because they're equal to the power of 10, which now means that what we have over here is we have 1 to the power of 10, and then we have cos, or we're just going to use the cis notation here now, cis of minus 60 degrees, and that there is also now to the power of 10. What some people forget to do, guys, is here is they forget whatever's in front of the cis value here, they forget to do the power to. Fortunately, it wouldn't make any difference in this case because 1 to the power of 10 is just 1. So we're going to end up with 1, and hopefully you can see that the Moivre states that what we're going to do is going to bring this in front of the angle that we already have. So what we're going to have here is cis of 10 times minus 60 in the angle. If we work that out, we get cis of minus 600. We're not quite finished, nearly there, but it wants of the form a plus bi. So it wants us to work it back into rectangular form. Okay, that's not a bother. Let's do that now. So we're going to get this out and say it's cos, and it's cos of minus 600 plus I sine of minus 600. Okay, just stick that in a bracket. And then what we're going to do is going to do them separately. First thing I'm going to do is work out what cos of minus 600 is. So I'm going to stick that in my calculator. If I do that, I get minus a half. And if I put sine of minus 600 in, I get plus root 3 over 2. And don't forget the I bit. And that there is z to the power of 10, or 1/2 minus root 3 over 2i to the power of 10. So all we are doing is we are taking the rectangular form, putting it into polar form, doing the calculation because it's much easier to do it in polar form, and then changing it back at the end.